Oh, hi, it's Prentis, speaking again. I'm kind of changing my setup a little bit. And someday I'll probably hope to get the green screen, but not for a little bit, probably, so I'll see. So, uh, yeah, so I was speaking about. Okay, well, God is talking to us. So how do we respond? And so the first thing is prayer, which I covered the other day. The second thing is reading the Bible. This the Word of God is how God revealed things to us. And he revealed them first through Jesus, but then it was revealed through his church that Jesus started, and eventually they came together and they put together a Bible, and we believe it's the Word of God. So it's really a holy book. So reading that is really a really great response to God. It's second, definitely. It's not as important as prayer, but it's probably number two, I'd say. So I'd recommend two books, and the Bible is like 73 books, I think, all in all, and there are 27 in the New Testament, which is about Jesus, and until probably 120 years after or so, they the books were written then, and the gospel there are four gospels, and I would look at the first one, at the Gospel of Matthew, probably chapter 5, which is about Jesus opening the Sermon on the Mount, and it's a list of his moral teachings about how we live and treat our neighbor and stuff, and it's basically it's the Beatitudes, which are 8 Beatitudes. Blessed are the poor in spirit, the meek, uh, those who show mercy, those who mourn, all this stuff. It's really good stuff. And then it just talks about how to, how to love your neighbor, how to, do all this good stuff. Um, so, yeah, so I would read that. Um, and Jesus' teaching is not the main thing about him, though. The main thing about him, the important part to us, is that he died, and he died for us, and the Son of God that died, and then 3 days later he rose, and then thereby he saved the world from its sin. So that's the important part, and the teaching kind of gets sometimes gets totally first place, and then everyone else don't worry about Raz that because that's miraculous, and we don't believe in miracles, right? So the teaching is pretty much non miraculous there, but it's kind of hard teaching to live by. So it's good to start with that. Yeah. So, and then secondly, I would recommend the Gospel of John. That's the fourth Gospel, and that is the last Gospel to be written, and it's really different from the others. It's pretty poetic. Like it's good. It's a good read. It's a good it says in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and through Him all things made, and I forgot to so it tells about how the Word, which is logos, which is meaning and structure and pattern, and it's not just the word like the Bible or the speech, which is absolutely important, but it's more logos is a really deep word, and it means deep. Yeah. So it's a really important word, so I could do a diatribe, but so the Gospel of John is really good. So it's for that it just goes through, and it will I think it's really theological in nature, and it's my favorite gospel. Although Matthew is pretty good too. So okay, so there's that, and then what else? Oh yeah, about the Old Testament. So let's definitely start with the New, because understanding Jesus is the key to unlocking all the scriptures, because everything in the Bible refers to Jesus, and or points to Him. So so He is the key. So you want to start with Him. And so if you go back into the Old Testament, there are parts that are really boring, and there's some awesomeness. Like I love the Old Testament, but sometimes there's like a big genealogy of like this guy, was the center of this guy, and he begat him, and so, and then there's like a little, 2-line thing of like really great wisdom, and it like totally speaks to you, and it's great, and then it goes back to the genealogy, and it's like, what's that about? And so there's a lot of things the Old Testament, like, what? So one analogy I'd like to do to share with you is one thing that a coworker shared with me when I was auditing, and she said, like, if you find something that is kind of a red flag, or that you don't really understand how it's working, you think, like, that's definitely a problem. What you do is you put it in the parking lot, and this metaphorical, not a literal parking lot, but you put it in the park, and you go on with your work. Like, you've done that, you've found something that goes, and, I don't know what's going on there. So you put it in the background and I go on. And that's how you don't get bogged down in any one thing and go, oh, I don't believe this. So, like, if there's something that you don't believe or doesn't speak to you, or doesn't line up with, how you're thinking right now, just, put that aside and just kind of go on. And that way you kind of can get, and you'll get more out of it as you read. So that's what I would do for reading the Bible, and I could do a whole thing on, like, how to read the Bible. It's like a big, it's for sure not anything close to a science textbook or a, like a historical textbook, but it and especially the Old Testament is, you just really have to realize these books they were written like 3,000 years ago, and so they have extreme wisdom. I mean, it's the Word of God, so it's it's pretty good, but you just have to you have to interpret things like, yeah, I'll do a whole thing on that today. So yeah, that's all, and I'll do I'll see you tomorrow. I'll do another thing, and then I'll be done. Okay, alright, thanks guys. Okay, bye.